Hi, this is Rick with the Dormant Customer Recovery Service. In this video, I'll be walking you through a preview of what this service looks like. For this video's sake, I've chosen in a random city, a random business to use as an example. In this case, it's Prescott, Arizona, landscaping services, and I'm just going to go through the top reviewed site here. Looks like Manzanita Landscaping Inc. So what I'll do is, I haven't pulled up the site yet other than a couple links up here, and what I want to do is to briefly show you the initial user experience for the site. This is what a user will experience immediately upon reaching this site. Now, this site in particular, I have looked at it briefly, and I can tell you it's not optimized for mobile. And that's the hint. That's the lowest hanging fruit that we'll be dealing with here. So we'll go through, look at the initial customer experience, and kind of show why that is not a good thing, and why this potential customer would benefit from having that adjusted. I'll also show you a couple examples of how we can fix some things on the site. So let's hop in and take a look at this site. This is the mobile emulator in Chrome. I've got this set to iPhone 6. This isn't the 6 Plus. This is the regular 6. And what we're seeing here is, we'll blow this up a little bit so that it's viewable. What we're seeing here is what the site looks like on mobile. Now, initially, the eye is drawn to this image. This is the most prominent thing on this page. It sticks out, and it shows, the company's landscaping, and yet we're seeing all of this brickwork. The landscaping isn't necessarily highlighted as the primary element. So there's a promise made to somebody who sees the search results for this site. So if you see the search result for this site, this is the promise. At Manzanita Landscaping, we offer a wide variety of landscaping services that include landscaping plans with details and specifications, irrigation systems, ... That's the promise made. And so looking at this, question is, does this image solidly anchor in the viewer's mind, the visitor's mind, that thought that we provide these custom landscaping and irrigation services? To me, these don't stand out. They're not prominent enough. And there's too many of them. It's switching, it's rotating. This could be a lot clearer that this absolutely would show the landscaping. The next thing the eye runs to, well, it's kind of a toss-up. There's this green area over here, and then there's this side banner with the company logo, and it's almost a 50-50. I'm kind of torn on which one I want to look at first. I'm actually kind of leaning on this area just because it's got a red button. Now, on mobile, it's possible that this might be a little bit bigger. You might have this closer to your face, but this text isn't readable. This is just tiny, puny little text. There's a lot of it. It's broken into 2 bits. It's 2 paragraphs. This just sucks. This is way too much content to look at. This needs to be cut down to approximately half of the words. In fact, this number of words might be fine in itself. Something that's real easy to digest. They've got a tagline here, a branch above the rest. So that my eye didn't even go to. My eye just went to this whole area. They've got this corner graphic, which I like the graphic, but then there's this tiny little space up here. They're not using a golden ratio with the header, the branch above the rest header text. It's just kind of stuck up there, so the flow is a little clunky here. And then there's a Learn More button, which is red, so it's a thumbs up that it's red. Now, if you're already looking at this green area, you will in fact go to the Learn More button. But, as I said earlier, it's a 50-50 as to which way the eye is going to go. It's not very definite. So if the eye goes over here, Manzanita Landscaping, we got a phone number, we've got a short little testimonial, we could view all testimonials, we could look at the associations, some social proofing here, and then our eye probably jumps over, okay, Prescott Landscaping by Manzanita Landscaping. That's kind of the way the eye would flow here. That would almost skip all this stuff, so that button just doesn't stand out that well on its own. Now they write quite a bit about their, whoops, all right, looks like we'll go back to regular mode. They write quite a bit about themselves. On a desktop site, this doesn't look too bad in the desktop res. This text is still a little small, but you know, the flow is here, that they're talking about it, looking for a Prescott Landscaping Company, they qualify the customer well. So this isn't bad. They do have a contact button. However, this contact button really, you know, this is the sales button here. Anybody who clicks this button, they get taken to the contact page, standard contact page, which has way too many details in a contact page. And you know, anybody who comes through this is money to these guys. So it's in Manzanita's best interest to make this as clean and simple and efficient as possible. Now, and to get people to that page, to the contact page. Now, the only link I'm seeing on this page, looks like there's a contact us up here, there's a contact us down here, there's this button. This needs to be a big prominent button. You know, this needs to be a big red contact us button, you know, maybe yay big, that indicates to the visitor, this is what you need to click on. This is where we need to go. This is your next action. This is your goal on this page. If you want to continue, click on this box to go forward. Now, this isn't only necessary for a user perspective. This is also necessary for Google's search engine optimization. For Google ranking, they have ways of seeing on a particular page if people are converting from this page, if there's a primary goal on this page and how many people are reaching that primary goal. So it makes sense, and that will actually affect your ranking in Google. It's not the most significant factor, but it is one of the factors in order to achieve a high rank. Now these guys, they're already ranking #1 for landscaping services. I spoofed my location so that I'm in Prescott. Google thinks I'm in Prescott. They show up as #1. In a more highly competitive niche, you know, they might show up lower. Here they show up in the 3-pack, the Google Local or the Google My Business 3-pack. They show up #3. They don't show up #1. So some work could be done to bump them up higher so that they are getting more traffic off of the people coming in on Google. One of the ways to do that is to make sure that there's one primary goal on each page and that they are reaching that goal. So here we click the Learn More button just to explore the site a little bit, and they immediately start qualifying themselves. This is a point that I feel I bring this point up almost every one of these website reviews I do, that it's as if the website is a resume for the company, that it's talking about what the company can do first. It doesn't talk about what the visitor needs. And as a visitor, what do you care more about? This company, how great they are, or you, your pain point, your process, your need, the block in your day that you want to solve? That's the most important thing, and that needs to be qualified first before you start talking about what you as a company do. Now, if you scroll down and start reading this, it isn't until you get to this line that they start talking about the visitor. Our experienced designers can help you with your initial design ideas, and then you can watch as the fun unfolds when you work with our project managers to make your vision become reality. That should be the very first sentence. The error that's made is the assumption that a user will read this entire page, or even not just the whole page, but maybe they'll just read this whole section. Attention spans the way they are today, you can't assume that. You have to shake hands so that you buy 5 seconds of time to get the first couple words out of your mouth, so that you buy 30 seconds of time to finish your sentence, so that you buy 2 minutes of time to start to understand the person, so that you buy 20 minutes of time to actually get to know their problem and try and close that opportunity. So the first thing that somebody wants to read is about themselves. This sentence needs to be brought up to the top. It would help conversions on this page. However, it's not the lowest hanging fruit. The lowest hanging fruit is that contact us right here is the only link they have on this page that will move through their sales funnel into actually getting work done, getting an actual sale. That button needs to be prominent. There needs to be a big, fat Contact Us Now button here. It could be embedded in this image. It could be just down below all of this stuff. There could be, oops, looks like I lost that page. There could be a Contact Us button here, and then this text, and then another Contact Us button here. Something that just visually captures the eye is going to be the lowest hanging fruit as a theme throughout this site. So without completely ripping the site apart, there are some good elements the site has going. It's got social proof here. It's got these organizations, the County Contractors Association, the CLIA, the Better Business Bureau. It's got this ROC number on it. So these are all accreditations and social proof that this is in fact a legitimate company. They do have a testimonials page, which we're looking at desktop right now, and I'd like to pop over to mobile quickly just to look at this page and see what it looks like. Now, if this is mobile, these are not even, you can't even read these. These are tiny. This is, I don't know, a fingertip or something. This text is just way, way too small. So mobile optimization needs to be done. Text needs to be bigger. It just needs to be viewable. These guys need to pull up their site in a iPhone and go through it and just answer, can we see the page or not? In fact, in the email proposal, that will be one of the key points, is that the site is not viewable in mobile, and to suggest to them to take a look at it. Just pull up a couple pages, give them a couple links to maybe this testimonials page even, and just talk about how hard it is to read the text, that it's tiny. It's just, it's not a very good experience. You could squint and you could read this, but it's not going to be a great experience if you are squinting as a visitor. It'd be a lot better if it just popped up and it was real in your face. This size, even though this is kind of buggy, that would be a great size of text. So there's a landscape services page. Here we are. It's a little weird that you can't click it, but that's fine. They've got an About Us page, which you really want to see some people. There's no photos of people on the site that I've found. It's really sparse. These guys have been in business for 17 years, and it would be real nice just to see a photo of the owner, of any workers, maybe the owner with the customer, maybe the owner with his pride and joy, his flagship property that he's developed. Just something to visually connect the visitor that this is in fact a person there. It'd be real nice. Now this landscape design portfolio, and again, I'm going through in detail. These are I don't know how many low-hanging fruit I've been pointing out here, but there are quite a few things that could be done. Maybe it's as a bundle, all these things get done, and that could be the case, that for mobile optimization, the text needs to be increased, and the graphics need to be increased, and the contacts need to be increased. But I'll point this out, which is that the landscape design portfolio, as a landscape architect, you're like you're a craftsperson of sorts, and all we've got are these two little graphics. They're tiny, they're puny, they just don't really speak that loudly. You got to click on them, and today's users are not very click happy. They just want everything in their face. They like to scroll. They really like to scroll, but they don't. As far as exploring one website, it becomes a diminishing returns, that they won't necessarily always come through and click on this stuff. Now, these guys have a lot of work they've done. You can see there's 70 or 80 of these little mini photos, which they've cropped the photos, it looks like. Here's the landscaping, but the thumbnail, like, all we have is this bronze light, this copper light. We're not really seeing it all. I would really prefer to have big graphics, to have landscape photos that are this big or this big, that take up the whole screen, that are gorgeous, that create this sense experience for the person coming in, that they can visually connect with it. I don't know which of these to look at. There's 20 things on the screen. This one pops because it's maybe got the best lighting, but there's just so many different things to look at. I don't know what to look at. This becomes kind of a difficult thing to navigate. It can be cleaned up and made a lot more visually attractive. The Contact Us page, because I briefly touched on this, I'll dig in a little bit on this. This page, what we found, we've worked with many clients, is that in any opt-in box or any contact form, the more fields you have, the fewer contact submissions you wind up getting. Asking for first name, last name as two separate boxes is a mistake. Even though these are optional fields, once you get somebody on the phone, you can ask them, "Hey, what's your company?" Okay, let's get this set up. Let's get your billing address. Okay, what city are you in? These are things that can be asked over the phone once you've made contact. But if you ask for too much stuff up front, this just looks like, just visually, this almost looks like a credit card form, and this will turn a lot of people off. Even phone number might be unnecessary. Depends how these guys like to contact. And mandatory is comments. I have to type something into this comments box. I have to stop and I have to think, what are these things that what do I need? I guess, I need landscaping. I don't know what I need. I need landscaping. But that's kind of an obvious thing. So to redo this form, real simply, have a first name, last name, just a name field, have an email field, and have a phone field. And that's it. Those three. It's really efficient. It makes this process a lot easier, and the number of submissions will go way up on that very small fix. So that's it. If these guys did most of their business through this form, I would say that is the lowest hanging fruit, is to optimize the Contact Us page and the links to the Contact Us page. If this is where all of their money came from, if they didn't do any referrals or any local advertising or any word of mouth, and this was the main funnel for their business, that would be the optimization. Name, email, phone, submit. A spam thing is fine, but do these guys really get a lot of spam? It's putting something like this in, you're making your customer jump through hoops, which may or may not cause people to drop out. So maybe you deal with a little more spam and you wind up getting more customers. A trade-off there. All right, let's take one more view of this, and this is in the desktop site again. No real thoughts are coming up. These guys do pretty good with local SEO on this page. They've got, well, they do have a P.O. box, which local SEO, having a P.O. box is not a good thing. Google wants an actual mailing address, an actual physical address. Places like the UPS store or mailboxes, mailbox shops are a little bit better. Google's got some fingerprints on these sites as far as knowing that they're mailboxes and they're not P.O. boxes, but P.O. boxes generally don't get a lot of traction. One thing that might bump these guys up higher in the search results is to have the name, address, phone number consistent across their site and all the places that link to them. And here we're seeing that, do they have an address here? They don't have an address showing up. They would do well to update this to make this name, address, phone number more Google friendly. Testimonials. I wanted to mention something on testimonials. This page this first lander page, the goal is to either drive people to the contact us or to drive people to the services page. Depends on how this wants to be done, how they want to do it, how you want to do it, what the goals are. Something that's lacking on this page is actual customer testimonials. We've got this one testimonial that's kind of shoved over here on the left in this thing, probably just because there was empty space here. Somebody on mobile is okay with scrolling. They'll scroll down a page or two or three if they like what they're seeing. If they see some nice graphics, they'll be happy to scroll down some more. So I'll show a couple examples of good testimonial pages. This is just off of HubSpot's blog. I tend to go to HubSpot for a lot of my design advice. And these are more, help desk. These are software as a service type companies that, this is a different visual appeal than a landscaping company. But they've got these three testimonials here, right? They're visual testimonials, and they have people faces, they have people, they have faces, they have the quotes, and they have the key benefit off of each one of these. So this could actually be replicated as maybe videos of the work that's been done, or photos of the work that's been done. A nice photo of the work, a nice quote from the person who got the work done, and maybe a title. Maybe low water landscaping, or custom brick landscaping, or whatever the main things people come in to have solved could show up right over here. Just have, after a description of the company, down in between this area, have a nice set of testimonials, just something nice to look at. Forcing people to go to a testimonials page, not a lot of people are going to do that. Some people will. The people who are pickier, who want more information, will go to the testimonials page. But for the most part, the majority of people coming in, they're not even going to see it. I mean, this is the only thing here. It's hidden up here. It's well done. We love it. But we love what? Show a photo of it. You've got all of these photos in the portfolio. I'm sure that some of these people would be willing to say, yeah, you came in and did this amazing landscaping for me. I'm so happy with it. It really adds to the value of the property. Whatever it is, to throw a couple of these testimonials up. After going through the site, looking at it, I tend to have kind of an overall feel that this site is, it's professionally done. There's Bang Web Design Site was the company who did it. So it was done with the intent of bringing in business. And this on desktop was probably fine. This site probably was fine. But mobile, has taken over. 2011. It was 2015 that mobile became the dominant form of web surfing. So this site has yet to be upgraded to really have a total mobile experience. There is a mobile version of the site. You can see that it does change. There is kind of a shift in it, but it's not optimized for it. It's really, there's a lot of opportunity to just go through and make this mobile friendly. Get a responsive theme in place, create more significant buttons. This Learn More button is just too small on mobile. More significant calls to action to get people to the contact page and even to the Learn More page. And yeah, those are my thoughts. So for the most part, the way that this would be delivered would be this video. There'd be a little bit less meta involved. This video would be something that you could share with your client to point out different things that you'd like to see done, different things you'd like to do, different ways that doing this work would affect the ROA of the client, bring in more customers, more leads, more revenue for them. And that's really the key point here, that you can easily convince somebody that, oh, your website is dusty and moldy and it was made in 2011 and so it needs to be updated. Let's hop in there. Let's, we'll put a new theme in. We'll do WordPress. We'll get it all nice and snazzy. We'll get it up to date for you. How does that sound? And the client just kind of, furrowed brow, nods their head and says, yeah, that sounds okay. Let me, let me just think about finances and I'll get back to you on that. And they go their merry way and maybe think about it, maybe not. But the financial piece has not been addressed. And what we've addressed is the conversion rate on these pages can be a lot higher. The more conversions we get to this Contact Us page, the more leads come into their email or their phone, the more customers they're able to work with. So there are some real direct lines that we can draw to affect this client's potential business. All right, I've taken up enough of your time. I appreciate you taking a look at this. If you have any interest in this service, would like to learn more about it, or just like to chat, I'll add my contact information in the description. Rick@rickdrives.com is my email address. I'm happy to talk on Skype. Please get in touch. Thank you very much.